regular Village of Armada Council meeting will now come to order for January the 9th. Will everyone rise for the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag, please? I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Clerk, call roll, please.
Shaw is absent. Clark?
Here.
Conan is absent. Wallach?
Here.
Belkey?
Here.
Slutz?
Here.
Ballard?
Here.
Approval of the agenda, which council's wishes?
Mr. President, I'd like to add under Administrative Reports G, Police Department Report.
Very good.
That being said, I move that the agenda be accepted as amended.
Support.
Moved and supported. Other than Belkey? Any further discussion? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carried. The floor is open up for citizen comments at this time. You have Stacy, in you?
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Same to you. Now, we have many more. So, no other citizen comments tonight. We'll move on to no presentations, administrative reports. You have all the copies of your reports in your packet. And general business.
He's gonna
Lyle,
have,
did you want to report any?
Yeah, just my,
Okay.
police report.
so you're gonna read that one?
Yeah.
Okay.
See if I find it here.
Well, you gave me the signed copy. Did you have another one?
Yeah, I got another additional. Here we go, I made a police action report for December 2022. There were 62 tickets issued. Operating under influence of liquor was 1 warrant was issued. Leaving scene of property damage and accident, 1 warrant issued. Assist EMS 3 times. Assist other agencies 5 times. Suspicious situation once. Dog animal complaint 1. Alarm open door 1. There was 2 lockouts. Arrest warrants were 3. Miscellaneous calls for service was 3. Motor vehicle accidents was 1 as of December 31, 2022. Miles on patrol car 431 was 80,960. 432, the F-150 was 17,169. And 433, the unmarked Dodge was 63,077. That's it.
Thanks, Mr. Ballard. Any other questions? Any other commissioners?
Yes, I've got just a couple updates here. So we've got UIS SCADA doing some work for us that was approved in the last couple of meetings. They're out here today. They changed the keypad in well house number 8, which was not functioning. It's a security issue. They're working on flow meters today and tomorrow to ensure they're calibrated, and a couple other items. So happy to have those guys out and get that work done. DF Best, who's doing the louvers for well house number 6, that was also approved a couple meetings ago. Those items should be in at any time, and the DPW has got the enclosures framed out, so hoping to get that done in the next couple weeks. Also, we've had McIntyre's water service out to help us check and calibrate the settings on the stager controllers that govern the back flushing of the water filtration vessels. that cost me beer and a dinner, so, we got good value
So
on
they're
it.
checking what, I'm sorry, Russ,
This was
fast?
the stager controllers,
Okay.
to reestablish, people have unplugged them instead of going in and shutting them off through the system. That's lost the settings, we've had to reestablish the settings, and we got ourselves a class on the operation, so it was worth the beer and the dinner.
Okay.
I've been in contact with DTE about the work on the substation. We did talk about that a couple meetings ago, about increased security and what the work at the substation does for us in terms of electrical outages and so on. They are gonna come and talk to council probably in March, April, and give us a complete update as a presentation. A lot of that stuff is over my head, and so their municipal liaison will do that, and I'll update us on a date for that. I've also invited SEMCOG, Southeast Michigan Council of Governments, out to give a short presentation to council. You know, those guys look at demographics into the future and what's happening with a whole host of different things. One is viability of municipalities. If you look at their current data, it says that the village will decline over the next 25 years, we'll lose population and so on. Obviously that's a concern to us because you lose people, then who's paying for the infrastructure? So it'd be good to get them out to give us an update on that, and that date is to be determined, but it'll be soon. So it'd be good for village to kind of get an idea of what they're thinking. And that's what I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Grattan. Anyone else?
Mr. President, just to make sure, so, the leaf act, so we've agreed, Michelle, we're gonna go with the letter of intent. They, Val will come picked up the machine this week, probably Wednesday, Thursday. They'll have a driver in the area, so we do not have to worry about holding on to it until the spring, and we're ready to pay for it. And we'll go from there. And Jeff, we were good with our proposal of the sole source type, single source.
Yeah, we'll probably target, hopefully start at, first meeting of the new year, assuming the budget gets approved on, everything goes through, as long as there's funding in the budget.
Yep.
We'll put together a formal purchase resolution for you guys to consider. And what Chris is referring to is, obviously, we've encountered this in the past in the village. It's, when you used vehicles are a little different than brand new ones, where you got multiple people offering the same model. This one has a little bit, very little age on it, but Chris is already done a lot of legwork to document what a new one would cost, and some other efforts to make everybody comfortable that this is a good price. But again, that's gonna come up. We'll have that in hopefully the first meeting in April.
And just so I visited 4 potential sources to purchase, along with the only Banal dealer we have in Michigan, in the Lansing area. And since, in the reality is all they deal in is snow and ice equipment, and they referred me to Bell Equipment. So it turns out that Banal is the only of a ride-on style. So that, again, just to make it even harder to find apples to apples.
More of a sole source than ever.
Yes, so.
Yeah, I think the key thing is, if a brand new one, if somewhere there was a brand new one that was competitive to this price, then of course we could say,
Absolutely.
okay, it merits, but I don't think, Chris, I don't want to speak for you, but I don't know if we found the brand new one in that price range.
I did not, it's, the closest was a $10,500 increase for a new one. So.
You sound better all the time.
Anything else? Mr. Clark, did you have any?
Yeah, down at the sewer plant, it's been shortly after the last meeting, we had a small flood down there in the new pipe gallery. The sump pump went out. So we had about 1.5 feet of water in there, and all got pumped out. We fried a transformer down there that has been replaced and raised up a little higher. New sump pump has already been installed. I watched a video shortly after they put the new sump in of the water flowing into the sump. There's an unbelievable amount of groundwater, as dry as we have been. So we're gonna have in the next couple of weeks, a plumbing company go out there and spec out a proper, because we have so much flow. We are working on putting an alarm system in. I did confirm with the guys that they do put eyes on that room every single day that they are there. But again, we had the situation come up, so we are working on things. And in general, they're working a little more diligently on cleaning everything up since the construction. I let the higher supervisor know I was not too happy the way things were looking in there. I stopped in today and there's already been a vast improvement, so we're continuing on working with that. We're gonna power wash some more things, and that's all I've got right now.
Very good.
Steve, I just had a quick question. So, I mean, that sump pump theoretically, it probably could run 24/7, or is there like something they were gonna do to maybe not have it run?
Well, maybe specking out a more robust unit, but it looks like maybe, we're talking to my budget, I've asked, they've got a little shopping list that we're getting some quotes on, and maybe we replace that sump every 6 months. I don't wanna have to do that, but I also don't wanna deal with flooding that and frying some electrical equipment.
Is there a possibility of putting a lead lag control in there with 2 pumps?
It's highly possible, we'll talk to this plumber to see what we can do. But again, I was very surprised at how much groundwater, as dry as we've been the last few months, is going in there. But to look at that's rather deep, and to think about where the level of the creek is, we're probably down about that level. So again, we're gonna keep on looking at this. It's gonna be on my list of things to look out for.
Very good, thank you. Consent agenda, approval of regular council meeting minutes, December 19th, and payment of bills. Council's wishes.
Mr. President, I'll move the consent agenda be accepted as presented.
Support.
Moved and supported. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carried. Old business, that was a sewer plan.
Yep.
Mr. Clark already gave that. And new business, to consider compliance with the PA 152 of 2011 through the continued implementation of the 80/20 employee health care contribution. And what is council's wishes, please?
Mr. President, I'll resolve to comply with Public Act number 152 of 2011 by continuing the 80/20 option for the village's contribution to the cost of the employee health insurance effective beginning February 1, 2023.
Support.
Moved and supported. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carried. This is time to set the CDBG public hearing, which will be the date and time for that coming up. What is the council's wishes, please?
Mr. President, I'll resolve to set the public hearing date of February 13, 2023 at 7 p.m. for CDBG distribution.
Support.
Sled also?
Yeah.
Moved and supported. Any further discussion? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carried. Up and coming agenda items, council have any?
Just, if I get the date for the SEMCOG, that, I doubt it's gonna be in the next 2 weeks, but, maybe.
Okay.
I'll let you know.
Okay, thanks, Ross. Citizen comments, floor is open for citizen comments. We have nobody wants to address the board at this time. Council comments?
Mr. President, I know, Michelle, I didn't know if anything had followed up from the business owners on the ice festival. I apologize, because I can't remember what they were calling the event.
Icebreakers.
Icebreakers.
Yeah,
Some of the business owners.
I've heard nothing,
Okay.
so,
I mentioned if they wanted to get it to us,
yep,
they could. There was some feedback from some of the business that are open later in the evening, that they were not necessarily in agreement of shutting downtown for that period of time for that day. I mentioned, see if Michelle had heard, and then I had mentioned to them that if they wanted to bring a letter into Michelle, or bring it tonight, by last Thursday or come today, and present accounts that if you felt that you were being misrepresented by that group, then so be it, you can, share with council. And as that, the applications have been approved, they haven't picked up their permit yet, so.
well, I mean, at this point in the game, if they're not willing to speak up for themselves, then we
absolutely.
can't really speak up for them.
Nope.
So.
Agreed. Like I said, I wanted to make, if you had heard, if they can, my assumption was they did.
Well, I think, I talked to Marv about it, I think I probably talked to Ross because he was in here. I think moving forward, when we have an organization that wants to close the downtown, I think I talked to you too, Chris. I think we should
Yes.
require them to have all the business owners sign off on that, just so we know. But we also have to understand, if 18 say yes, and 2 or 3 that are, the restaurants, and I'm not picking on them, because I don't know who talked to Chris, but, that's who it affects the most, is those 3 restaurants. However, if 18, so it's a hard thing to, to balance out, because, if you got 17 saying yes and 3 saying no, but those 3 are the most affected by the closure, but I think that's something that we need to look at in our special event permit, only because, we don't want any businesses upset, or annoyed by it. And I also need to trust that who's telling me that they've spoken to everybody that they have, and that everybody's on board. But, so I think that's something we need to look at our special event permit.
Well, we did ask, and we were told at the meeting that everybody had been communicated with, and they were in agreement to do it.
Well, and if minds were changed after, between that and when Chris brought it to my attention, I just think, in order to protect ourselves, we just need to try to cover all the bases we can, so.
Well, yeah, just another reason for a good, strong business organization in the downtown. And so we've got 2, I'm not sure that either of them are representing all the businesses anymore.
Right, I don't know either, but.
Well,
so.
being in the winter time too, it's gonna be very detrimental, with the weather. So, it may not come off.
Well, those ice festivals bring a lot of people,
Yeah.
people like to come to them, so I think it's actually gonna benefit the restaurants, because you're coming to town to see it, let's eat while we're here. I'm hoping, I'm hoping that's what happens, but.
Down in the middle of Mount Clemens, they have this, and it really goes over big.
Yeah, yep. No, and I'm hoping that they get that type of turnout. I just, I had not heard that. Chris brought it to my attention, and, at this point in the game, we've approved it. I wouldn't renege on that, but.
I think even Romeo, our neighbor, has it.
Used to.
They used to have it.
That's why they came, because they used to.
Yeah.
And then,
Yeah,
I think Richmond 1 or 2 years.
they did.
Richmond-
Yeah, Richmond
Yeah,
used
with
to
the
too.
ice, the sponsored
Yeah.
ice sculptures and things like
Yeah.
that. What other events that go with it, I'm not sure, but.
Right.
Or if they do it at BB Street Park or something.
Well, it's up to them, to make
Yeah.
it then.
Well, and like I said, if there was a displeasure with something, then
Well,
it's
you
up to the businesses to represent that to us.
When you think about the lighted parade we have, how many people are there? I mean, they managed to park somewhere.
Yeah,
We sure
And
did.
they're downtown, so
they
they
do.
still can get into the
Yep.
businesses, so
Yeah.
hopefully it's
That's
that
huge.
busy.
I hope it, yeah, I hope so. Okay,
Very good, thank you. Community events.
That segues into the icebreaker. What was the date for the icebreaker?
I don't remember, it's February, yeah, I don't want,
February
it's the
something.
10th?
I believe it was. Oh, wait, no, it wasn't, that was Friday.
It's
So
a
it's not the
Saturday, right?
10th.
So the 9th? I don't
5 to 9.
No, 11.
On Friday.
Is it Friday, right, or is it
It
Saturday?
was Friday.
How about we just don't announce it on camera
Friday's
until
the
next meeting, so we don't have it wrong.
When you know.
Friday's the
Yeah, yeah,
It was Friday from 5 to 9.
yeah,
But I have to look at the exact date.
yeah.
Yeah.
We'll announce it at the next meeting.
I have it on my other computer.
Very good, thank you. We don't have a closed session tonight, and I'm gonna entertain a motion for adjournment.
The time is 7:22. I move to adjourn.
Support.
Moved and supported, move to adjourn. Any comment?
You don't ask them to discuss that.
Any discussion? Yeah.
Well, you wanna discuss it, let's go with it. No discussion? Call for the vote. No,
All those in favor?
All in favor?
all in favor?
Aye.